Alright, fire signs. What are the messages that want to come out for the rest of April for Aries? For Aries, what are some messages that want to come out? Okay, that's a lot. What are some messages that want to come out for Aries for the rest of April? We have the Chariot, and then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So there is a sense of control here, a message of control. It looks like Aries, like you're just gonna be chilling, you're resting, but there's a lot of like assertiveness that you're having here with both of these cards. It's like I feel like you have been in a very chaotic trance lately, and you're just like maintaining control of yourself, but you're still assertive. Before it didn't really seem like you wasn't getting enough rest, but it seems like you're just chilling and resting. And also, all my fellow Aries, happy birthday. This is your month, this is your time, this is our year apparently. So just, you know what? If you're gonna be chilling, I'm gonna be chilling with you. That's what's up. Okay, then we have more cards coming out for the rest of April for Aries. What are some other messages that want to come out for Aries? We got the King of Swords in reverse, the Strength card upright, King of Wands in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, Five of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Four of Cups, I'm sorry. So let's see. What am I getting here? Alright, like control is definitely a theme here. Which is funny because Aries, we're the most like impulsive fire sign out there. So it seems like Aries, you've been really trying not to do that. Like you're really trying to control yourself and impulses here. With that Knight of Swords coming in reverse, it's talking about like you're kind of like careless lately, a little bit scattered mind and disorganized. But like it's like usually you charge forward with a plan, but I don't think you have a plan right now, and that's why you're not charging forward regarding whatever situation has been stressing you out. You kind of like just been chilling, which is kind of like different and might make you feel at odds. But I think like with this reflective period of your birthday, you're just kind of like just chilling and laying low, and you just don't want any drama. You feel like whenever there is something that like kind of upsets you, you usually speak up and do something about it. But I think this time you're just like, nah, I'm gonna hold back. I'm not gonna charge in that. I'm gonna just keep it chill. And you know, there's a lot of strength in that though. Like you're picking and choosing when you want to act on things. With that strength card coming up, I do get like a lot of like compassion here, but I'm also getting a lot of like I'm getting a lot. This is a Leo card, by the way. This is giving me a lot of energy of like, you know what? I know myself. I don't need to prove myself to anyone. Like, I have enough confidence to know what I'm capable of, and I don't have to scream and yell to have my way. I can do it in a passive way. And so this is what I'm getting from so far from this part of the tarot reading. Now, I do see with this King of Wands and Page of Wands in reverse, it's showing me that there's a lot of things here that you feel kind of distracted on. And it's just like, it's not saying that like you are like, it doesn't like question your level of authority, right? I feel like there's a lot of power here to you as well. I'm sensing like I feel like you're kind of like, you've been kind of discouraged lately. I'm not sure if it's because like you got the blues because it's your birthday and you're getting older and it's making you really reflective, and you've been feeling kind of like down and depressed, and you're just like whatever, but the part of you is still like, no, it's not whatever. Like, you know, I've been hurt and I've been upset and I'm just tired of it, and maybe like I just need to like chill out so that I don't keep getting hurt and I don't have to keep dealing with drama. But regardless of that, you're still kind of ruthless. I don't know if like you're bitter about something, but like you do come off a little cold when you do talk, and you still are assertive. It's just like you're not temperamental, but people can still feel that fire behind your words. It's like cutting cold and cut like deep, whatever you're saying. And I do see that like you are very distracted at the same time. There's a lot of things going on in your head right now. And I feel like maybe like there are some personal things that you haven't really shared with others that's like drifting around your head lately, and that's why you're not really like really there at the same time. It shows me that here with this Page of Wands, and it's like you're not really like exploring it though. You're not really sharing that with others, but others can sense there's something off, that you're not really entirely there. And usually like Aries are really out there and they talk about things and they're really open about these things, but I'm getting like the opposite this time around. You're kind of just like more withdrawn lately, and I do see here that you might be experiencing a sense of relief in your finances. I don't know, like you've been spending a lot. Granted, like it makes sense during this time period. Like a lot of you guys, it's your birthdays. You go out, you go shopping, you celebrate with people. But and maybe you've been spending a lot and you're just taking time to like chill out and not really spend, so you are recovering in your finances. And maybe like it's your tax refund coming in and, you know, helping you pay some bills or whatever. But I do see like some assistance coming in, maybe even like someone's giving you money or something. I do see like maybe there was an issue with your finances and now it's going back up, but like you've been taking it really chill lately with that Four of Cups. You've been really closed off and just like thinking about things. It feels like it's not really like, it's weird because this is not like usual Aries behavior, but like I feel like the opposite is happening lately, and it's going to continue for the rest of the month. Let's pull out some hidden messages. What are some hidden messages for you, Aries? What are some hidden messages for Aries? Okay. Queen of Wands in reverse. See, we got the big, like, Wands card coming out, like, in status, like, King and Page, and then Queen. But they're all, like, in reverse. These are all fire sign cards. So it's, like, for them to be in reverse, it's, like, they're not really, like, out there. But the energy's still there. It's, like, the fire is still there. It's just not, like on, you know? Kind of like stove-like behavior. You know the stove has fire in it, but it doesn't, you know, it's on, but it's not on right now, but you know there's still fire there. You gotta be careful, you know? I know that's a weird comparison, but that's just like kind of like what it is right now. Like, I got like all these hidden cards coming out. Yeah, I see this one sticking out. Okay, let's read this. Alright, Aries. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Sun card upright. And then we got the Two of Swords in reverse. And then following through, we do have that Seven of Pentacles coming up, but it's in reverse. The King of Swords is upright. And then we have that Page of Cups in upright, as well as the Knight of Cups in reverse. And then at the end, we do have that Ace of Swords in reverse. And the Nine of Wands in reverse. So, let's start over here, okay? Yeah, this is giving heavy introverted energy. I think, excuse me, with these hidden factors, I feel like Aries, you've been feeling, like, you're going to start feeling really overwhelmed for the rest of the month. About a lot of things, and you're not really currently present, and it's going to cause a lot of disorganization from your usual flow, but in spite of that, like, there's still this level of egotism that you have to you that hasn't really lost itself. You do show that, like, despite you being introverted, you've been quiet, and, you know, you just kind of want to do you and not really, like, deal with people. And so, okay, so this is interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but I did hear this about Aries, that, like, we're the popular introvert. Like, we come off very social, very talkative, and, you know, we got that fiery, impulsive energy, and there's a lot of compassion and such. But the thing is, Aries needs time to be alone. They get overwhelmed. They don't like being in crowds for too long. And I'm getting, like, Aries wants this period for mid messages for the rest of April to just kind of like be by themselves and not be bothered, because they're overwhelmed and they need to like withdraw and recharge because there's a lot on their mind that they're not saying. And so I'm setting, like, this is what these cards are saying right now for the rest of the month, midway to the end of April. Like, this is going to happen to a lot of Aries. But we do have that Sun card coming out with that Two of Swords in reverse. So I do see that, like, there's going to be this period for you, Aries, where you're overwhelmed and you want to withdraw. But then, like I said, you're going to come out of it. There's going to be some positive energy that's going to come in. You know, there's going to be so much celebration, and there's a lot of, like, of pleasure and happiness that will come through with that Sun energy. It's kind of like, hey guys, I'm here, what's up, you know? And so it's just like, you're gonna have ups and downs for the rest of the month in terms of your mood. I think at some point there will be a point where like Aries is gonna come down to some conclusion with their thoughts, and they're gonna go with the lesser of two evils when it comes to a decision. Yeah, there's definitely a decision here that like needs to be made. And I think like right now, like a lot of Aries haven't got to that point yet where they thought about it enough on what they want to do. Usually, like, Aries would know what they're very confident when they move forward. It's because they already thought things out and they know what they want to do. But because they don't know what to do right now with a certain situation, they're more withdrawn. But they're going to be thinking about things, and then eventually they're going to, like, charge forward with their decision, which I see here. And they're going to be very happy when they come out of that. And so with the Seven of Pentacles and King of Swords, so in a second, I'm just meditating on this. Yeah, there's definitely like a mental breakthrough here. I think for Aries, there's a lot of them that are kind of like letting go of something that they didn't want to let go of. It was kind of like a long-term vision of theirs that is coming out in the open, and it seems like, I think like based off of this placement and the direction it's going in, it seems like Aries, you're gonna let go of this long-term, like, you know, project you might have been working on, or a vision or some sort. Like maybe there's something that you were working towards to and it wasn't working out, and that's why like you kind of been disarrayed on how you want to move forward, and you're wondering if, like, you want to keep going forward with this or if you just want to let go completely. But I do see here eventually, head over heart, whatever has been holding on to your emotional ties, you're letting go of, and you're just going to be very like blunt. You're going to be very like, you know, truthful and strict with yourself. Swords card is like, they don't play, especially with the way this card is positioned itself, like the King of Swords. Like they're sitting down calmly in their throne, but then they got their sword up, like, don't try me, don't try me. So like I think that's where this energy is showing when it comes to you, Aries, for the hidden factors of this section of this reading. Now with this Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups in reverse, there's a lot of disappointment that you've experienced recently, and with that in mind, there's also a part of you that's being very creative with this Page of Cups. Like, even though like you've been like this, you hit like a rut, there's an opportunity that came from this experience where you can explore your creative opportunities and how you come about. I just realized, I don't know if you guys can see, but like this guy got like a cup and there's like a fish coming out of it. I don't know why. Like, I thought that was cute. It made me think of my fish. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Like, it's cute, but definitely trust your intuition here, Aries. There's a happy surprise waiting for you from this card. Despite you feeling very like moody and such, like I feel like something's gonna surprise you, and it's gonna make you feel really happy. Now with this Ace of Swords in reverse, along with this this Nine of Wands in reverse. Let me see. Yeah, it seems like you're gonna go back into your head again about things. Like, there's some chaotic things that might occur that might like go back into withdrawal where you think about things again. It seems like you're rethinking on yourself. You thought you had your mind made up here, and something good happens, and now you're back to being confused. Like, wait, like it's like you're kind of still questioning yourself. Then, but like there's a point where like, you really feel overwhelmed and on edge and paranoid and just exhausted by stuff. So like I do think here like you're gonna start questioning your own judgment on things, and it just seems like there's a lot of ups and downs here. Aries is in their head this month. Aries is in their head this month. Let's see. Let's get some advice. What's some advice that we can give Aries? Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, both upright. Three of Swords. Got the Justice in reverse. Eight of Swords upright. Eight of Cups. Number 8 is popping out twice to me, and it's really like standing out to me. Something about 8 kind of like pops out. Nine of Wands, Queen of Cups, both reverse. Okay, I'm gonna do my 2 more cards. Two of Wands, upright. Six of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's see how this goes, and if more cards want to come out, I'll read it. But, alright. Any cards that are upright, the deal is I read the little description on these cards out loud to better portray the wisdom of advice here for anyone who's watching. And then after I finish reading all these little descriptions on the upright cards, I will try to interpret the overall messages from all the cards from the spread, okay? So, starting with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is patient, methodical, and hardworking. Trustworthiness, reliability, and routine work are required from you right now. The work may seem dull, but they will pay off eventually. You must see all your tasks through the end. So, and then some key words here is practicality, steadfastness, and routine. Which is kind of interesting because, like, I know Aries, they don't like routines. So I guess they're, like, advising you to be in a better terms of, like, intention, but, like, having, like, a schedule routine in place. I guess there's, like, some order that you need in your coming days soon, Aries. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, that is upright. We have, you worked hard for a long time, and through all the struggles and setbacks, you finally accomplished your goals. You've now reached a state of contentment. This also means you are able to turn to your family. You are now able to give them the attention that is needed and do your part to ensure their bright future. So, establishment, wealth, and success. Ten of Pentacles is actually a really good card. It shows a lot of good fortune, especially for like homes of families or whatever. Okay. 1 second, guys. Alright. Now we have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords indicates a time of pain and heartbreak. However, it encourages you to use this pain as a lesson learned. Accept your loss, release the pain, and move on with the past behind you. So there's heartache, grief, love triangles. Then we have the Eight of Swords. You may feel restricted and powerless, but these are things that you have imposed on yourself. You may have to face a difficult decision, but you must release those constraints before doing so. Be honest with yourself. So there's keywords of self-imprisonment, isolation, and restriction. And then you have Eight of Cups. You may have realized that your current situation isn't working for you and are deciding to leave it behind. It may feel like a loss to you, but you take this process of moving on as an opportunity for self-discovery. Keywords is escapism, change, and transition. Then the last upright card is Two of Wands. With the initial spark of the Ace of Wands, you are ready to start putting your ambitions to use. You are taking your ideas and turning them into tangible plans. This is a card of exiting your comfort zone and broadening your horizons. Perhaps with travel, a new career, or further education, or etc. So discovery, moving forward, and travel. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Alright, now I'm gonna try to like do an interpretation for you, Aries, regarding all the cards that are also in reverse. So we have the Justice in reverse, and then we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and then the Six of Swords in reverse. Good. How are you? I'm doing good. Ugh. Aries reading, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, before I go any further, I do kind of feel related to it to some extent. I'm kind of like in a brain fog, so... I know I'm kind of spoiling it, but like I'm already feeling that right now. So hopefully the other fire signs messages connect with y'all. So anyways, advice for Aries. So there's gonna be a point in terms of your advice where you need to like you gotta be more practical and stick with a routine that works for you. That's gonna like guide you in a direction of success and wealth. Okay? Aries, a lot of you guys are kind of like scattered right now, and what's important is being successful and whatever that entails, like wealth in its own way. Now, wealth can be financial, it could be wealth in like happiness, it could be wealth in your mental health, but it seems like whatever your depiction of wealth, I do think that like Aries, you need to go back into a routine that's stable and will help you maintain your stability in that direction, because you've been really like out of it lately. And so, followed by the Three of Swords and Justice in reverse. I know, like, there's been a lot of grief lately and heartache because of someone being very dishonest and lacking accountability. But with the following cards, I do think that, like, you've been really self-reflecting. And it's not like you're self-reflecting on, like, what was done to you. You're also kind of, like, self-reflecting on yourself and how you handled it. And, like, not a lot of people know this about Aries. Like, they have a lot of good leadership skills. They're very compassionate. They're, like, really heavy on the empath. But, like, Aries are very much soft inside. And they're, like, they're the baby of the zodiac, of course. So, like, there's a lot of, like, level of innocence that they have. But people misunderstand them all the time because they come off very, like, headstrong and very direct and impulsive. But it's because they feel right away before actually thinking things through. And I think like that's what's happening here is like Aries might have felt like they may have made a mistake somewhere along the lines and are self-reflecting on themselves. And so like you're gonna be really like restricting yourself and putting yourself in isolation because you kind of want to like escape from reality for a bit. But this is a very much a transitional period for you, Aries, especially since it's like your birthday. Like, you're kind of like not just looking at the past issues that happened, but you're also looking back on your past year of life and then maybe even self-reflecting overall like yourself as a person. And so there's a lot to think about and unpack there. And it's just like as you get older, you're wondering what is working, what isn't working. And like, you know, sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's the other person. And maybe there are some things that you can work on to improve on, and that's okay. That is totally okay. But like at the same time, while you're doing all this, you need to create and establish a routine that will help you get back on your feet. And like for sure, with that Nine of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Cups, there is definitely a lot of like emotional insecurity and coldness. You've been hurt, and it takes a while to heal from that. And you know, there's a lot of, there's a lot of moments of like feeling defensive and hesitant. You're very like paranoid, and it comes in with the territory of being hurt. And I think like not just, it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign, it's just generally when people get hurt, they go through those stages, like where they self-reflect and you know they try to find like ways to improve, like what were some red flags that they might have missed. And then there's also this level of like, well, there's some things that I didn't do that the other person did, that level of defensiveness. And then just feeling hesitant when someone comes in that are trying to like be nice, or like they're trying, like a potential partner. Like you have these moments where you like, do I want to like open up yet? And you are holding back and you're feeling hesitant. And this is something that is not normal for Aries, but that's the thing, when something new is being exercised, Like, you're still kind of like learning the wisdom from the experience because it's not something that you usually do. And that's normal. It really is normal for that to happen. But you got to move forward. You got to move forward. You got to do new things. You need to go out there and try different things. And, you know, honestly, when it comes to like remembering the past, to get over the past, you have to move forward and let go. But you also have to do new things to replace those old memories. And that's something that I think a lot of Aries people need to hear and do, is like, make a list of things that you've always wanted to do that you've never done, right? It could be anything, the most impossible but not impossible or more achievable type of list of things you want to do, and go out there and make memories, make some new memories, make some new experiences, meet some people, make new friends, do all these things, like indulge into the enrichment of life and the things that can happen when you go out there and try doing something new. And you don't have to be attached to those things to like be open and trying different new things, you know? Of course there's gonna be unresolved issues and that might cause an inability to move on, but like you gotta start from somewhere, you know? You can't stay locked up in your room and put it on repeat on how shitty things went. You kind of have to go out there and start from somewhere. Even if it's baby steps. Baby steps is still progress to something than not doing anything. And that's your reading, Aries. I hope it resonates, and I hope it helps a lot of you that might come across this video. But you got this. Alright. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Leo. What are some mid-messages for Leo for the rest of April? What are some messages for Leo for the rest of April? Let me get some cards for Leo. Let me get some cards for Leo. I see you sticking out. And then I see some of these cards sticking out, but I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, you got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And then the 9 of Cups next to that. Okay, so this is a good reading so far for you, Leo. I'm seeing that you're getting some recovery in your finances. Okay? I don't know if you've been good with your finances, but it's starting to show. You got some you know, funds coming in. And I do see with this 10 of Cups, you chilling right now. You happy right now. You feeling confident. You feel comfortable. I don't know if you've been feeling like shit lately. I think you probably have, but like, you in a good state right now. What else? What else? Come on, Leo. Let's get more cards for you, boy. Sorry for those who are girls. I just had to say that. What are some messages for Leo for the rest of April? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I have to say this. This is the Deacon card for Aries, even though it's in reverse. I think this week, actually, you're gonna feel some tension and change. It's definitely a transitional period for you right now. Interesting. Okay, Leo. Yeah, you're going through a transition right now, actually. I know this is for the rest of the month, but like, from this to the 19th, you're going through a change. And in this change, it's very critical. I think you're going to be very dismissive towards certain things. It's a very critical and overbearing period for you right now. And you're exhausted with this 4 of Swords in reverse. You're exhausted, you're tired, you've been tired of feeling stuck, and you don't want to deal with people. You're like, no, this is too much. My social battery is at an all-time low right now. So you've been very dismissive, and you're just like, whatever. I do see here with that Sun card in reverse, and this is one of your cards, actually, the Sun card. So I do see here that there's a lot of energy here that is showing negativity, because it's in reverse, the Sun. So maybe you might be feeling like low-key depressed about certain things, and you're not really talking about it. And it's contributing to your exhaustion here as well. So, like, that's the stuck feeling you have. Like, you've been feeling stuck in this level of sadness that you can't really shake off. And it's like causing like some negativity. Not gonna lie. But like, let's be real, like, you know, you've been going through some shit. Okay? And now your finances are gonna eventually come up. But remember, this reading is for the rest of April. So this is like second to third week. I mean, we're approaching the second week of April right now currently. But this is for third and fourth week, so you're still going through that transition, right? So there's gonna be some really sensitivity that's gonna happen during this week into the third week, where you're gonna be feeling really exhausted and like restless. Like, maybe there's even points where you want to sleep and rest, but you can't sleep because you just feel really stressed out and stuck with this energy that's been negative with you lately. I do see here though, with this Four of Cups and then the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, you're dealing with a lot of materialistic people that are nagging at you and are suffocating you. And you don't want to deal with that shit. I do see you being very secluded. If you're ever around these type of people, you're being really withdrawn. And you just don't want to be around these people. You're closed off. Because they're suffocating you and nagging you like crazy. Hold on. I feel like I should pull more cards. Let's pull more cards. Let's pull more cards. This is some tea. Can I get some more tea? Like, I mean, more cards from my Leo queens. What's some more you could tell me about Leo? Okay, we got the Eight of Swords pulling up, followed by that Two of Wands, Seven of Wands in reverse, and then the Knight of Wands. So, besides you closing off from all these materialistic people who keep nagging at you and suffocating you, you do feel this level of empowerment that's coming through. It seems like before you felt like you were like kind of like trapped and stuck with all this stuff that's happening, and you might have not been really sharing that with others. It's probably something that you've been feeling trapped in your own head about. But I do see you opening up more with this card coming out in reverse. You're going to be more open to like sharing some of the things that's been happening with you. And you're also going to be like getting this level of empowerment when you do that. Like, maybe before you didn't really feel like you had that courage to speak up, but I do sense here that it's going to change real soon. This is a level of being open and being empowered. Because like, you've been feeling stifled. With this Two of like Wands in reverse, you haven't really gone out there and discovered more about yourself. You've been feeling stifled with all these things happening around you. And so because of that, there is some procrastination that will come from this. And I don't blame you. Like, with all these cards that were coming out, there's a lot of stuff happening. You are going through a transitional period right now. And this is an insect I don't like. Sorry. And it just seems like, you know, you've been stifled and procrastinating. Which is why it's important that like you keep careful with your finances. You might need to prepare for something. Now with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and that Knight of Wands, yeah, there's something here that is overwhelming you and making you feel disempowered and insecure. You're facing a lot of conflict soon, near the end. And it's like something suddenly is going to happen to you at the end of the month, where it's gonna really overwhelm you and you're gonna feel very disempowered. It's like you're gonna go from an up and then back down. Like, okay, so this is saying that like you're gonna be feeling very overwhelmed by something, and it's gonna be sudden. It's gonna be like bow, and it's just like, I think there's a level of carelessness that is taking a factor into this. You might have been distracted by all these things that are happening, and then you're, okay, like, for me, this is my own little, like, advice to you, because I don't like when stuff like that happens, and we haven't gone to the advice section. I do think that it's very important to be in the now and taking care of the things that you might have not really, like, paid attention to because you're distracted in all this chaos that you're in. Because it seems like something might grow from that and hit you at the end so suddenly, and then you're going to be very overwhelmed. So I do think that despite you having really good fortune in your finances, don't let go of that like habit of spending. Like, don't spend money. I feel like something's going to happen and you're going to need your finances. So be sure to hold on to your finances and be aware of the things that you need to take care of. Don't be completely distracted with all the chaos that's happening in your personal life. Advice. Not advice. Hidden factors. I'm tripping. What are some hidden factors for Leo for the mid-month messages of April? What are some hidden factors for Leo? Alright, I see these cards sticking out. 6 of Wands. 3 of Wands. Alright, this is another Deacon card, guys. So this is something that's already, like, happening earlier this month into now that you might not be aware of. These 2 cards jumped out. Hidden factors for Leo. Any more messages for Leo? Conflict. I know. Okay. Let's read this, guys. Alright, Leo. What is going on with here? Alright. So, Leo, we do have this 6 of Wands coming out upright, then the 3 of Wands. So there's a lack of foresight here where it's talking about your public figure to others. So you come off very, very self-confident to people. And it's not like you plan that, you don't plan it out that way. It's just, you give that impression to other people. Like, oh, this girl knows, or this guy, whichever Leo is watching this, like this person really doesn't have to even plan it, but they come off very confident. And they seem very successful. You give off that confident energy. So I think this is like things that you don't know about people and how they view you is what I'm getting for the theme of this. Excuse me. But we do see here this Queen of Swords and then this 3 of Cups, right? Now the Queen of Swords, you have very like set boundaries. Okay? You're very direct, straight to the point. You have really good not confrontation, but communication, direct communication, right? But like, you're very like cold when you talk about things. And I think this is a serious conversation. Like when you get into it with someone, you're very like straight to the point. And some people think you might be a little cold-hearted when you do that. Like, not only do you come off confident and successful, but you do come off this way where you can be very cold and sharp when you need to. Yeah, I think there's going to be a period here where it might involve others in like a party environment or others that are like, where there's people, where you meet people, right? Often where there's like a lot of people around you. I think there's going to be some points where you might feel like you need to isolate and have some alone time. There's like the crowd around you is not it. And like when you are around those people, you can't help but be very firm and sharp with yourself. But it shows me that you're making some like difficult choices here. Like you don't know if you want to approach something directly or if you want to be avoiding a situation. And it seems like there's going to be a period where you need to like have more mental clarity on how you want to go about this. I feel like you know what I'm talking about for the Leos who are watching this. Like there's a situation here where you're wondering if you should confront it or not. Whether it's with people at a party or there's friendships or like maybe in a space where people are like overindulging on themselves. You're debating whether or not you want to be around those people or like be, you know, like if you should or shouldn't, and should you be by yourself or should you be direct and straight to the point. It's like you don't really want to be in a space. And this connects with your previous reading, Leo, about like throwing yourself in the lion's den. It's like I think this is the same crowd pertaining to that previous reading as well. With this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have this Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I see like there's some issue in the home. There's some issues going on with the home. But the thing is, you have a lot of financial independence here. You take care of yourself. But there's some things that are happening at the home that kind of feels like it's smothering you in a sense. Yeah, you don't really feel motivated or passionate about this either. It's kind of like off-putting in a sense. Like, yeah, you are doing a lot of self-development on yourself, but like the people around you aren't really like that. And it just kind of like makes you wonder, like, what the hell am I doing here, you know? Like, why am I around these type of people? And it's just like, I feel like there's also a point where there's like a lot of OCD energy here, like a level of perfectionism that's coming into play here. Like, how you handle the problems, you want to handle it in a certain way, but it seems like the people in your home space might not really comply with that, and that's getting you annoyed. And it's just like, you're like, there's a lot of like self-reflection here, like, why can't others be like this? Why am I always the one that have to like come in and set people straight? Why can't people just get their shit together and just like be smart about their choices? Why do I have to come in and tell people what to do? Like, I'm getting that kind of energy here, you know? And then like, we got this Seven of Wands and then this Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And it's talking about like challenges and conflict. You might be fighting with people, or you might be competitive with people, right? But like, be careful here with this Ten of Pentacles in reverse, because then it's talking about like, you know, like, yeah, you might be financially secure, but like there is a dark side to that might be coming into play, where people might be challenging you. I don't know if people are trying to use you for your money and they expect you to like give them some financial support, and they're gonna probably say some shit like, oh, well, you're so good at carrying yourself. You know, like, you're so confident, you make so much money, like, why can't you, like, you know, give me some of that, you know? Like, I'm getting that kind of energy. And it's just like, you know, it's like they're not there to really stabilize you. It's like they're taking away from the stability you're trying to maintain and like, actually, like, improve on. I don't know, man. It seems like you got, like, some negative crowds around you. What's some advice? What's some advice for Leo? Nine of Swords, Temperance, Four of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Two of Cups reverse, the Devil in reverse. Okay, it looks like you're breaking free from something. King of Wands, King of Pentacles. And then I see these two are sticking out. Well, actually there's three. Alright, let's read this. Alright, Leo. As always, I will read the description, and then I will try to make an interpretation out of all these cards that came out for your advice. So, we have the Nine of Swords. So, Leo, it seems like this card indicates you may be stricken by fear and anxiety, but this may be all in your head. You may be worrying about a situation a little too deep, when in reality, it isn't as bad as you think it is. So, big words here are anxiety, nightmares, despair, and cruelty. You get the Four of Pentacles, right? And that's like kind of like a greedy card. So you've been working hard and as a result have gained quite a bit of wealth because of it. However, you may have become greedy and too focused on material riches to the point where you're afraid to take risks both financially and emotionally. So some keywords here is material possessiveness, greed, frugality. Then we got the Four of Wands. So with the Four of Wands, it indicates a period of stability, fulfillment, and harmony. Perhaps you have reached a milestone in your projects. This card is also associated with the home, so now might be a good chance to spend some quality time with your friends and family. Harmony, community, celebration. And then the last card up right here, we have the Five of Wands. You may be in the midst of a battle between rivals in a group setting that there is a fight for dominance and each having their voices heard. However, sometimes competition can be healthy. Rather than backing down, embrace change and differing opinions of others. So some keywords here is competition, rivalry, and disagreement. Alright, let's interpret all these cards together. Alright, so you got the Nine of Swords and Temperance in reverse, right? So there might be a separation between you and others that might cause you a lot of anxiety and really have you self-reflect, right? But remember, this is your advice, okay? So this might be addressing multiple things that came up in the reading, and how you should go about it. So regarding people that might have competing interests as you, or someone that you kind of like used to talk to but no longer talk to anymore. This could be family, this could be friends, this could be a partner. It's going to cause you a lot of nightmares and anxiety. But you have to keep like remembering to be frugal with your finances. I don't know why it keeps telling me this for you, Leo. Like, you have to save your money. You have to save your money. Something's going to happen. But, you know, just understand that even if you withdraw yourself from a connection, you know, you need to focus on what's really important here, which is your finances. But at some point, like, there is a time period where you're going to celebrate with your family, with your friends, maybe even an online community, if you have that in other spaces, where you can come together with those people and actually feel happy. Maybe that's your level of escapism from like certain things that have been bothering you, but like, you know, go where like you can save money and be happy with others, people that you actually genuinely feel happy around, like not this competitive energy with people who might be talking smack about you. Like, that's draining you and it's not really serving you. Now with this Two of Cups in reverse and the Devil in reverse, it is showing me that you are feeling like basically freed from a connection. Maybe you have broke up with someone, or maybe you had separated from a connection with a friendship or a family relative that caused a lot of tension. Or maybe, and since this is like an advice section, I think it's telling you like whatever you feel like you are trapped in or obsessed with, like, or tied with, you have to let go of it. You need to separate from this person that's dragging you down. Like, because there's a lot of tension and imbalance here. There's more negative than positive, right? And then here with the King of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, there's a lot of pushiness in this connection as well that comes off very aggressive. And, you know, you feel like you're kind of stuck in this routine with this type of person. And it's like you're getting sick of it. You know, like, and that's going to keep happening until you let go and do things for yourself. Right? And again, the Five of Wands came in again, where it's talking about like, you know, the competition and rivalry. Like, I'm not sure if you even know that there are people around you that looks at you as a rival, but like there might be even people that disagree with you that kind of cross you as a rival or a competition of some sort. That type of energy, right? But you haven't really talked about it with that Ace of Cups in reverse. You have a lot of bottled up feelings. Regarding that, overall, with that Eight of Swords in reverse, you need to be open to change and really self-reflect. Like, do I want to keep doing this? Is this serving me? Or is it giving me more negativity in my life that's like making me feel like shit? You know? Like I feel like I'm being obliged to this and someone's being very pushy and to the point where they're being a bit aggressive. It's like, do I really need that in my life right now? You know? And it's like, it happened earlier. We talked about like this Queen of Swords energy. Like, maybe you come off firm with your boundaries, and then they consider you as being cold-hearted. But that's not really the case. That's gaslighting. So I hope you guys can actually identify these red flags in real time, because it's like, you gotta have your boundaries, and if people are still pushing against those boundaries and not respectful of that, then you gotta cut the cord, because it's not really good to have that kind of people around you, especially if you have your own, like, you're dealing with your own personal chaos that you're not really sharing with others, and you don't need all this extra shit on top of that. Okay? Like, you just gotta stand your ground and be open to change, and just do more self-reflection during this period, okay? Alright, and that's your reading, Leo. I hope that resonates and helps you. What are some messages for Sagittarius? Thank you for the heart me. Okay. King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Fool. A lot of fire energy here. So, it seems like Sagittarius, you're entering a period, like a new beginning, where there is more structure in your life. I don't know if this is talking about you or something else, but there seems to be a figure here with like status that you look up to as like an authority figure. Maybe it's a boss, maybe it's a relative that's like an aunt or uncle or father figure, that is going to be very much providing for you. Interesting. Or maybe this is like a significant other that gives off that aura. Like, there's someone that's more like dependable and realistic coming your way, and it's gonna be like a beginning for you. So let's see. Hi Happles, thank you Lalun. Okay, got the Hangman, the Hermit. What is this going on for Sagittarius? Tell me more for Sagittarius, please. I see these sticking out. Alright, let's read this. So we got the Hangman and the Hermit. Hangman, and then we have the Star card in reverse, Queen of Cups upright, Strength card upright, and then you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So I see, like, there's this period for you, Sagittarius, where you might be self-reflecting on yourself. I'm not sure if you're like disengaging from people to gain more introspection on certain things, but at some point you're gonna receive a point of like enlightenment where it really changes your perspective on things. Maybe you're looking at things differently than how you looked at it before regarding a situation, and that's probably why like there's a new beginning for you. But I see with the Star card in reverse and the Queen of Cups, I think like this is something pertaining to something that really gave you a lot of disappointment. And this is definitely situational, okay? This could be either a situation with something that happened that caused a lot of disappointment in you, and you had to like really like cut off and really self-reflect and look at things differently and looking at it in a different perspective, something you've been holding on to. And because of the situation, you become more intuitive and receptive. I think there's also a part of you that still holds compassion for the other party involved. But despite that, like, you know, like, that doesn't mean that you don't doubt them, you know? Like, you can be compassionate for someone, but still hold your doubts and distrust towards the situation. And it's just like, you do want to look at this thing a bit differently than how you usually have, and I think that's gonna come for you soon, which is gonna start like this new beginning for you. I do see here with that Strength card and with that Eight of Cups in reverse, yeah, there's definitely like a point where you're gonna be like withdrawing from a lot of people. You might be drifting a bit away from the situation and people involved in the situation because you want to have more control of yourself. I do see that like you're like, it's basically you recharging. Like you want to have more compassion than you usually do. Like you still want to hold on to that level of compassion that you have when it comes to situations. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened was out of your control and you want to be more courageous. But like you're not really sure what the current perspective you have right now in the situation is enabling you to like make that move for yourself. What's up, Apples? How you doing, brother? Let's pull out some hidden factors for you. What are some hidden factors for Sagittarius? I think some pollen is in the air, guys. I feel like my nose is tickling. So if I keep sneezing, I apologize. Oh, why is all these cards coming out? We got the Hermit card coming out again. What are some hidden factors for Sag pertaining to this situation? I'm gonna move this a little bit up because I feel like there's a lot to say. I feel like part of this is vaguely being exposing what's going on. Thanks for showing themselves. We got that Queen of Cups again. Okay. So hidden factors for you, Sag. We've got the Chariot coming in with that the Ace of Swords in reverse. And then the Hermit comes out again, but this time it's next to the Six of Swords. And then Page of Pentacles comes through with that Seven of Cups. And then the Two of Wands comes out along with that Nine of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. So, hidden factors. I do see some progress happening here for you with that Chariot card coming in. And there's a lot of willpower and determination behind that for you. But I do see that there is a point of I think there's still a part of you that's still confused. You're not 100% confident. Even though you want to kind of come charging in confident, and you probably are going in, you're not as confident about yourself as you could have with that Ace of Swords and then the Hermit card. It seems like you're still rethinking things, and there is a point where you're still soul searching to some extent. You're doing a lot of like introspective work where you're really like taking time to like grasp like the full truth. Like you don't think you have the full context of certain things that are going on, and so you're withdrawing and still thinking about different things. And you know, there's a point of you that still wants to be alone to like really grasp on that and meditate on these things with that Hermit card. And just to let you know, like it's a strong, heavy Virgo card, and like a lot of things that Virgos are very well known for is withdrawing and thinking things through and being very honest with themselves. And I think this is what you're aiming to do with this introspective withdrawal with that Hermit card. Like it came out in your main reading, but it's also coming out in your hidden messages. Excuse me. Oh my god, ew. But it seems like you are definitely still taking time to withdraw and look at things differently. But this is also, you're not really sure, but like about this going on, but like this is a period where you're going to be making a personal transition. So it's like not outwardly and externally for a lot of people to see right away, but you're definitely transitioning the way you think about things and how you view things. and you don't necessarily want to make movement just yet until you fully grasp the full wisdom of your meditative like hermit phase. So like you are still transitioning something personally within about how you look at things and how you see things. And there will be a point where you do come to a point of manifesting some opportunity with this Page of Pentacles. You have to remember, like, Pentacles is very much about, like, financial status, but it's also in terms of wealth. And it's like, people think wealth, they think money right away. But there are some other ways of looking at wealth. There's personal, mental wealth. There's, like, a soul-searching wealth. Like, what makes you feel wealthy? You know? Like, everyone has different interpretations. So, like even though this is a coin card, I do want to, like, let that be known that, like, there's a, like, inner development within yourself that will manifest itself. So just keep going. I do see here with that Seven of Cups next to it that there are going to be some opportunities and a lot of wishful thinking. Maybe you're considering like doing a new job or you want to explore new opportunities that can help like either bring up your skill set or bring up your finances. There's a lot of opportunities that are like presenting itself. You haven't technically gone forward and trying them out, but you are looking at it and eyeing it like window shopping in some sense, you know? And it's gonna motivate you, despite you kind of like holding back and you know, this withdrawal of like introspection period that you're going through. Like maybe you're considering like different paths to embark on, and you're trying to look at things differently and like marinate in that thought. But it's something that has crossed your mind, that will come across your mind soon in later April. And with that Two of Wands, it is showing that you are like planning to make some moves. You want to make moves, but you're still planning to make moves, you know? So you feel some sense of conflict. Like you want to be out there doing something, but you still don't have all the necessary tools to make forward with that, you know? And then you have here the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. So there will be a point where you will be enjoying the fruits of your labor with that Nine of Pentacles. It's like you've been working hard towards something despite all of this going on, and you're gonna enjoy it. You know, maybe you've been holding like back on spending money. Maybe you have been holding back on other things that make you happy. But there will be a point later in the month where you can enjoy those like opportunities. With that Queen of Cups though, it is showing me that you might be also nurturing others, because you feel a level of stability to doing so. I think this card came out. Yep, it came out earlier too. So we have these two cards that came out, and then the Hermit card came out also. So I think what's important here is just like, I think like a lot of Sagittarius people are very much like compassionate and very giving, and a lot of them are in relationships. So maybe there's a point later on where you kind of like want to take your significant other out for dinner and just spend time with each other. It's like a healing moment for you guys. What's up, Heather? Welcome in. Let's get some advice for you, Sagittarius. I feel like there's like a lot of ups and down moments here in Sag's reading. Hold on. Let's get some advice. What's some advice for Sagittarius? Two of Wands, the Empress, Two of Swords. Two keeps coming out. Maybe the 22nd, something important is gonna happen. April 22nd. I don't know, 2 popped out to me. Then you get the Chariot in reverse, and then the Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords comes out. Hermit in reverse. Okay, you have Hermit came out a third time, but this time it's reverse. Any more advice? Oh, something flipped. Temperance and Seven of Pentacles. Okay, let's read this for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do, as usual, is read all the cards' descriptions that are upright, and then go into the overall interpretation of all the cards, including the ones that are in reverse, okay? Just so that it helps you understand the meaning of the advice, and maybe it'll help you with more context to understand what the advice here is. Okay? So, Two of Wands upright. With the initial spark of the Ace of Wands, you are ready to start putting your ambitions to use. You're taking your ideas and turning them into tangible plans. This is a card of exiting your comfort zone and broadening your horizons, perhaps with travel, a new career, or further education. I think, yeah, this came out earlier here too. So this is another card that came out twice. So moving forward and discovery and travel are keywords to embark on that card. Then you have the Empress card. So you are in a period of growth in which all you have dreamed of is now coming to fruition. The Empress is traditionally associated with maternal influence. It is the card if you are hoping to start a family. She can represent the creation of life, a romance, art, or a new business. And some keywords here is difficulty, doubt, ignorance, and femininity. And then you got the Two of Swords that came out here. Two of Swords is about being stuck with a difficult decision and being afraid to proceed. However, lack of action may take the situation worse. A decision must be made, but only once you have all the needed information. So indecision, need for balance, and stalemate are keywords here. And then you got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is composed, mature, and intelligent, and able to think clearly without emotion. When faced with an issue, use your head rather than your heart. So another keywords are independence, intelligence, and rational thought. Right, now let's do the interpretation part of your advice. I'm getting like stuffy nose, what the hell? So you have Two of Wands in the Empress card. Hold on, this is a little too loud. A bit better. Okay, so you got the Two of Wands and the Empress card that came out for your advice. So I think here what's important to grasp in this message is that, like, it's hard for you to make this move of moving forward, but this is something that you have to put your faith in. Like, there's much for you to discover in new opportunities. I think, like, the hesitance of moving forward is being addressed here for you, Sagittarius. Like, yeah, there's of course some doubt you might have, but there's a lot for you to look forward to, and like, you shouldn't hold back just yet. And here it talks about, like, with the Two of Swords and then the Chariot. Chariot also came out, but this one is now in reverse. It seems like you're holding back from moving forward. You want to move forward, but you're holding back on moving forward because you don't have enough information. You want to make sure that you have all the information to go forward. Regarding your hidden message, I think there's a point where you will try to go forward, but I think your advice here, now that it's in reverse with another card telling you why, I think there's a point later in the month where you want to, like, charge in and just go forward with something, but your advice is to not do that until you get all your information. You want to make sure that you're making a very, like, wise decision when you have all the information in front of you. And I know, like, part of you is kind of like, like, you want to move forward, but then how could you move forward if you don't have all the advice? And yeah, there's a lot of doubt that you have, but it's best, you would probably move more easier and more confidently if you have more time to get all the information you need before going forward. It's like, as a fire sign, talking to another fire sign, like, we always have this urge to move and react and go forward. We want to charge in. We have our passion. And sometimes all we rely on is our passion, right? But as the oldest in the fire signs, Sagittarius, like, you need a little bit more than that to make a sound decision of moving forward. It's like with you, you kind of like hold back to really grasp all the details and let that resonate and sit with you for a bit before you react. And I think like that's the impulse energy of Aries influencing everyone in the zodiac to do something. But like part of you feels that, but you're like, no, I need more information. I need more time to really sit on things before going forward. And I think that is what the advice is also telling you to do, is like you're used to like being that way, and it's best for you to continue going that way. Then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse and then the Queen of Swords, right? So some things that you want to like keep in mind here is don't don't react out of anger and pettiness. I know it's hard. As a fellow fire sign, we just can't help react in anger whenever someone wants to like do us dirty and you want to be petty. And that's why Sagittarius, you guys get this Terrorist nickname. Like, don't be petty. Hold back. Don't be angry. Don't do that. Because then you have the Queen of Swords next to you saying you want to be you want to be independent but intelligent. You want to be rational. Hold on to that instead of being petty and charging forward with your anger. Don't do it. Don't do it. And then with that Hermit in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles, there's a fear of you of like, there's this part of you that's like, am I overthinking it or am I not thinking enough about it, right? Like you're now measuring how much effort and time you're putting into your thought process. And it's causing you to have like a lot of fear in yourself from doing anything. But like that's not gonna stop you. Like at the end of the day, like whether it's like, I get it though, like you wanna like move. You don't like sitting still, but you want to make sure you have all the facts, but then you don't want to also wait too long before making a movement, right? I do see some conflict though. When it comes to another person. This could be a friendship, this can be a significant other, but it's talking about the Temperance in reverse, where like you might get into an argument with someone because you guys have different opinions on things and different like interests in things, and then it seems like it's gonna like cause conflict to the point where you guys don't really like talk to each other as much as you usually do. You might want to like pull away from each other a bit. Like you guys are still within vicinity of each other. It's not like you guys are separating. Now if the Two of Cups in reverse, if that came out, that would result to a breakup with these cards, but I don't see that here. I just see that like, you know, there's a chance that like all this stuff that's happening, you're not really focusing on either like family, friends, or significant other. Like you're kind of like in your own head, you're not really paying much mind to your partner or your loved ones, and it's gonna cause like some arguments, and you guys might feel a period of being tense. Like I think, and that's what I think this card, the Hermit reverse, is coming forward. You're not really putting too much thought on like how you are handling the ones around you, and just be mindful of that to avoid that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was your reading, Sagittarius. I hope that resonates with you, and if it does, I hope it helps you for the remaining of April.